Something strange started happening late last night, and people inside the rap industry are quietly whispering about it like it's information that wasn't supposed to leak yet. Around 2 a.m., several police vehicles reportedly pulled up near Chicago's Parkway Gardens, the same place the world knows as O Block, and within minutes, phones started lighting up across group chats, label offices, and studio sessions. At first, nobody knew exactly what was going on. Some people thought it was a routine raid, others believed it had something to do with an unrelated investigation, but then a message started circulating between bloggers that made the entire situation feel different. According to screenshots that began spreading behind the scenes, multiple members connected to O Block had allegedly been taken in for questioning by federal agents. And the rumor that followed immediately after that was the one that made everyone freeze. The investigation might somehow be connected to the recent shooting rumors surrounding Lil Tim. Now, nobody publicly confirmed anything at first, but the moment those whispers started reaching social media, the internet exploded. Fans began digging through old posts, resurfacing clips connected to the long-running tension surrounding King Von, and asking whether this was the moment the feds finally stepped into a situation that the streets had been arguing about for years. Meanwhile, several people associated with O Block suddenly went quiet online at the exact same time, and that silence only made the speculation louder. Some insiders claim this wasn't just local police activity. They say federal investigators had been quietly watching movements connected to both Chicago and Atlanta for weeks. Others insist the rumors are exaggerated and the internet is connecting dots that have nothing to do with each other, but what really made people uneasy was a short clip that surfaced showing someone close to the O Block circle telling a friend on the phone. They asking questions about stuff from years ago. Nobody knows exactly what that meant yet, and if what certain insiders are hinting at is true, this story might be a lot bigger than anyone expected. By the time the sun started coming up in Chicago, the whispers that began during the night had already spread through half the rap industry. At first, it sounded like another exaggerated internet rumor, the kind that pops up on Twitter, trends for a few hours, then disappears once people realize there's no proof. But this situation felt different. Multiple people from inside the city were saying the same thing quietly. Something unusual had happened around O Block overnight. And when people started mentioning federal agents instead of regular police, that's when everyone began paying attention. For those who might not understand why the name carries so much weight, O Block isn't just a neighborhood nickname. It's the name fans use for Parkway Gardens, the Chicago area that helped shape the early drill music scene. It's also where King Von built much of his reputation before his career exploded worldwide. Ever since his death years ago, tensions tied to that history have never fully disappeared. They faded from headlines sometimes, but the conversations always stayed alive behind the scenes. And according to several bloggers who claimed they spoke with local residents that morning, the police presence overnight looked much heavier than usual. Multiple vehicles, unmarked cars, officers speaking with several people in the area before leaving without any public statement. That alone might not have caused a huge reaction, but the rumor that followed is what turned the situation into viral news. Early that morning, a screenshot started circulating in private rap media group chats. The screenshot allegedly showed a message from someone claiming to be connected to a Chicago promoter. The message read, "Feds asking questions about Tim's situation." That single sentence immediately connected the raid rumors to the speculation surrounding Lil Tim that had already been trending online. Nobody knew whether the message was real, and the person who supposedly sent it quickly made their account private, but the damage was already done. The screenshot spread faster than anyone could contain it. Within hours, fans began building their own theories about what might be happening. Some believed investigators were finally looking into old conflicts connected to the night involving King Von years earlier. Even others argued that federal agents would never show up in a neighborhood just because of internet rumors. But the more people talked, the more details started appearing. Details that made the story feel less like speculation and more like something unfolding in real time. One of the first clues came from social media silence. Normally, several younger artists connected to the O Block scene post constantly throughout the day. Studio clips, jokes, selfies, random updates. But that morning, O's multiple accounts stayed quiet at the exact same time. No posts, no stories, nothing. Fans noticed the pattern almost immediately. Some said it didn't mean anything. Others pointed out that when people suddenly stop posting during a moment like this, it usually means someone told them to lay low. Then another twist appeared that made bloggers start calling their sources. Around midday, a Chicago street reporter posted a short video outside a courthouse downtown. The clip didn't show any specific suspects or arrests, but the reporter claimed that several individuals connected to the O-Block area had been brought in earlier that morning for questioning. He didn't say names, he didn't show paperwork, but his video ended with a line that made everyone pause. "This ain't just Chicago police," he said. "This got federal attention." Within minutes, rap pages started reposting the clip with captions asking whether O-Block members had actually been arrested. Some fans believed the story instantly. Others called it fake news designed to get views. But what really made people uneasy was the reaction from certain insiders. Instead of laughing the rumors off, several people who normally comment on everything suddenly avoided the topic completely. That kind of silence doesn't usually happen unless something serious might be happening behind closed doors. Meanwhile, the speculation online kept growing. Old interviews from artists connected to O-Block started resurfacing again. Clips where people talked about loyalty, street codes, and unfinished conflicts were suddenly being analyzed like clues in a mystery. Fans argued in comment sections about whether the rumors were connected to the alleged shooting involving Lil Tim that had already stirred up controversy days earlier. Some believed the timing couldn't be a coincidence. Others insisted the internet was building a conspiracy out of unrelated events. But the most mysterious moment of that entire day happened late in the afternoon. A popular Chicago DJ suddenly posted a tweet that many people interpreted as a warning. The tweet said, "Everybody need to stop talking so much online." That message alone sparked thousands of replies asking what he meant. Was he referring to the rumors about O-Block? Was he hinting that federal investigators were really involved? Of course, the DJ never clarified. He deleted the tweet about 30 minutes later, but screenshots had already spread everywhere. Then something even stranger happened that evening. One person believed to be loosely connected to O-Block briefly went live on Instagram for less than a minute. The stream was chaotic, with people talking in the background and someone repeatedly telling the person holding the phone to turn the camera off. But before the stream ended, one sentence slipped out that immediately grabbed the internet's attention. A voice in the background said, "They asking about stuff from years ago." The moment that clip started circulating, fans began connecting it to the long history surrounding King Von and the tensions that followed his death. Now at this point, it still wasn't clear whether anyone had actually been arrested or if people had simply been questioned. No official police report had surfaced yet. No federal agency had released a statement, but the combination of rumors, silence, and cryptic comments had already turned the situation into one of the most talked about stories in rap circles that week. And behind the scenes, some bloggers claimed they were hearing something even more unsettling. According to one unnamed source who said they spoke with someone close to the Chicago music scene, investigators weren't just asking about recent events. They were reportedly asking questions about older incidents that had never been fully explained publicly. If that claim was true, it meant this investigation might be digging into a timeline that stretched back years. But nobody could confirm that yet. All anyone knew for sure was that something unusual had happened overnight around O-Block, and the whispers about federal agents were spreading faster than anyone could control. And as the internet continued arguing over what was real and what wasn't, one Chicago blogger received a phone call from someone who claimed to know exactly why investigators had suddenly started asking questions. But according to that blogger, the explanation they heard was something they weren't even sure they should repeat publicly. By the time the second day rolled around, the story had already spread far beyond Chicago. Blogs in Atlanta, New York, and even overseas rap pages were reposting the rumors about O-Block and the possibility that federal investigators had started asking questions connected to the situation involving Lil Tim. What started as a late-night whisper had now turned into one of the biggest debates across rap social media. Some fans believed the investigation had to be connected to old tensions surrounding King Von, while others argued that the internet was once again creating drama without real proof. But what made the situation more intense was the number of strange little details that kept appearing throughout the day. Early that morning, a popular Chicago blogger posted a message saying he had spoken with someone very close to the situation. According to the blogger, several individuals connected to the O-Block area had not technically been arrested, but they had allegedly been questioned by investigators late the night before. The blogger didn't show documents or name anyone. But he said something that immediately caught attention. They asking about movement between Chicago and Atlanta, he wrote. The moment that message went up, fans immediately connected the dots to the rumors surrounding Lil Tim and the online speculation about revenge or retaliation. Whether those connections were real or not, the internet had already decided the story was bigger than anyone first thought. Around noon, another piece of supposed evidence started circulating. This time, a screenshot of what looked like a direct message conversation. The message allegedly came from someone claiming to be an assistant working for a Chicago nightclub promoter. In the screenshot, the assistant told a friend, "Club security said some feds came through earlier asking about certain artists performing here before." No names were mentioned, but the implication alone was enough to make the screenshot go viral. Within minutes, fans began speculating that investigators might be looking into travel records, appearances, or connections between artists from different cities. Again, none of it was confirmed, but every new rumor added another layer to the mystery. Meanwhile, the reactions from people connected to the Chicago drill scene were becoming more emotional. One artist who grew up around the O-Block area posted a message on his Instagram story that read, "Internet detectives working overtime." That sentence alone sparked arguments in the comments of every blog that reposted it. Some fans interpreted the message as a denial of the rumors. Others believed it was frustration toward bloggers spreading information that might not be accurate. But the artist didn't explain further, and the story disappeared a few hours later. Then later that afternoon, something happened that made the drama explode again. And a short clip surfaced from a live stream involving a friend of someone connected to O-Block. The video showed several people sitting in what looked like a recording studio. At first, the conversation seemed normal. They were talking about music and upcoming releases, but then one of the people in the room made a comment that immediately caught the internet's attention. "Everybody acting like the feds ain't been watching for years," he said casually. The moment the clip spread online, fans started replaying it again and again, trying to analyze whether the comment was serious or just a joke. As the evening approached, social media began splitting into two completely different narratives. One side believed federal investigators had quietly started digging into events connected to older conflicts that had never fully been resolved. The other side insisted that the rumors were exaggerated and that people were misunderstanding routine questioning by local authorities. Both sides were convinced they were right, and the arguments and comment sections became heated quickly. Fans were shocked by how much speculation was circulating without anyone directly involved confirming or denying anything clearly. But perhaps the most dramatic moment of that day came when someone believed to be loosely connected to Quando Rondo briefly went live on Instagram. The live stream lasted less than 2 minutes, but it created another wave of speculation. During the stream, the person addressed the rumors directly for the first time from that side of the situation. "Y'all need to chill with all that conspiracy stuff," he said while shaking his head. "People making stories for views." Fans immediately flooded the comments asking whether the investigation rumors were fake. The man paused before answering, and his response only made things more confusing. "Just because the internet wrong don't mean nothing happening," he said quietly. Then the live stream ended without further explanation. That sentence alone turned into one of the most debated quotes of the entire situation. Bloggers clipped the moment and reposted it everywhere. Some fans interpreted it as confirmation that something serious was indeed happening behind the scenes. Others argued the statement simply meant that rumors were exaggerated but not completely imaginary. Without context, the internet once again filled in the gaps with its own theories. But late that night, another unexpected development added fuel to the story. A well-known hip-hop podcast host posted a tweet saying he had heard from a legal source that investigators were looking at communication patterns between certain individuals connected to both Chicago and Atlanta. The host didn't provide details or names, but his tweet quickly went viral. Fans began speculating that authorities might be examining phone records, travel histories, or online interactions between different groups. The host later clarified that he was only repeating what he had heard from a source and could not confirm anything officially. Still, the damage was already done. The rumor had spread across the internet. At the same time, several artists connected to Chicago's drill scene started posting cryptic messages that fans interpreted in completely different ways. One rapper tweeted, Truth always come out. Another posted a photo of a studio session captioned simply, "Stay focused." None of the messages mentioned O'Block or Lul Tim directly, but fans were already so deep into the story that every word felt like a clue. By the time the second night ended, the situation had evolved from a simple rumor about police activity into a complicated web of speculation involving multiple cities, old conflicts, and the possibility of federal attention. Bloggers were chasing sources, fans were debating non-stop, and insiders were quietly watching how the narrative was forming online. But according to one industry manager who spoke privately with a blogger that night, the most surprising development might not even be public yet. The manager allegedly claimed that someone connected to the situation had already spoken with a lawyer earlier that day, not because they had been charged with anything, but because they were worried about what investigators might ask next. If that claim was true, it meant the story was far from over. And somewhere behind all the rumors, tweets, live streams, and screenshots, the real explanation for why investigators had suddenly started asking questions might still be waiting to come out. By the third day, the situation had turned from a rumor into something that felt like a full-blown mystery unfolding in real time. What started as whispers about questioning Nero Block was now trending across every rap page online. Its fans were shocked at how quickly the conversation had escalated, and emotions were running high across social media. Some people were convinced investigators had uncovered something serious. Others believed the internet had created a conspiracy out of incomplete information. But what made everything feel heavier was the way new details kept appearing just when it seemed like the story might calm down. That morning, one of the first major twists surfaced when a Chicago blogger posted what he claimed were partial legal records from a courthouse database. The screenshot showed a list of names connected to an unspecified investigation, but the names were blurred out except for a few letters. The blogger claimed the list included individuals believed to have ties to O'Block. Almost immediately, fans began zooming in on the blurred names, trying to guess who they might belong to. Some people claimed they recognized the initials of certain drill artists. Others argued the screenshot could easily be fake. Within an hour, the post had already been shared thousands of times, and the debates and comment sections were intense. But the real chaos began when a familiar voice entered the conversation. A former associate of someone connected to O'Block suddenly went live on Instagram and began speaking openly about the rumors. At first, the stream seemed calm. He told viewers that the internet didn't know the full story and warned people not to jump to conclusions. But the moment someone in the comments asked if the investigation was connected to the rumors about Lul Tim, the mood shifted. The man paused for several seconds before responding. "All I'm saying is this," he said slowly. "Stuff from the past got people looking now." That statement instantly went viral. Fans interpreted it in completely different ways. Some believed he was hinting that investigators were digging into old conflicts connected to King Von. Others thought he was simply warning people that the streets never forget anything. Either way, the live stream clip spread everywhere within minutes. As the day continued, another unexpected twist appeared. A leaked voice note began circulating across several rap blogs. The audio allegedly featured a conversation between two unidentified men discussing the investigation rumors. And now one voice said quietly, "They asking about who was around when certain stuff happened." The other voice replied, "That's why people nervous." The clip ended abruptly, leaving listeners with more questions than answers. Fans argued about whether the recording was authentic or staged, but the timing of its release only made the speculation louder. Meanwhile, tensions between fans from different sides of the long-running Chicago-Atlanta drama were starting to resurface online. Old interview clips from artists connected to the drill scene were being reposted again. Lyrics were being analyzed for hidden meanings. Even tweets from years ago were suddenly trending again. Some fans said the renewed arguments were disrespectful to the families involved. Others believed the truth behind the situation had been buried for too long. The debates became emotional quickly, and the comment sections across rap blogs turned into non-stop arguments. But perhaps the most shocking moment of the day came when someone believed to be related to one of the individuals rumored to have been questioned posted a message on social media. The post read, "Y'all making this harder for families." That sentence alone changed the tone of the conversation. Up until that moment, most of the online debate had focused on speculation and rumors. But suddenly, the human side of the situation became visible. Fans realized that real families were watching the internet turn their lives into entertainment. The post didn't confirm confirm whether anyone had actually been arrested, but the emotional tone made it clear that people close to the situation were feeling the pressure. Later that evening, another dramatic scene unfolded during a podcast live stream involving a Chicago music commentator. During the show, the host revealed that he had spoken privately with someone claiming to have inside knowledge of the investigation. According to the host, investigators were reportedly trying to understand connections between several individuals who had traveled between Chicago and Atlanta in recent years. The host emphasized that no charges had been announced and that the information was still unconfirmed. But the moment he mentioned travel connections, the chat exploded with speculation. Fans immediately started tying the comment back to the rumors surrounding Lil Tim. Then came the second major twist that nobody expected. Around midnight, a well-known industry manager posted a cryptic message that simply said, "Everybody better start checking their old phones." That message caused immediate panic across social media. Some people believed the manager was hinting that investigators might be reviewing phone records or past communications. Others said the message was probably just vague commentary meant to attract attention, but the post was deleted within 15 minutes, which only made people more suspicious. Inside the rap community, emotions were clearly running high. Artists who normally stayed quiet about internet drama began posting messages about loyalty, trust, and staying focused on music. Fans interpreted those posts as indirect reactions to the investigation rumors. And some supporters of the Chicago drill scene argued that the internet was unfairly targeting people from O'Block without real evidence. Others believed the sudden interest from investigators suggested there might be deeper layers to the story that the public didn't understand yet. By the end of that night, the narrative had become incredibly complicated. There were rumors of questioning, leaked screenshots, emotional social media posts from family members, and cryptic messages from insiders. But despite all the speculation, one important question still had no clear answer. Had anyone actually been arrested? No official documents had been released, no confirmed charges had been announced, and none of the people rumored to be involved had spoken directly about the situation in detail. Still, the atmosphere surrounding the story felt heavier than before. Fans were shocked, insiders were cautious about what they said publicly, and families connected to the situation were clearly feeling the pressure of being discussed across millions of screens. And according to one source who spoke quietly with a blogger late that night, the reason investigators might have suddenly started asking questions could involve something far more complicated than a single incident. If that source was telling the truth, the investigation might not just be about recent events at all. It might be about a chain of events stretching back years, and someone finally deciding it was time to look at the entire timeline. By the fourth day, the atmosphere around the entire situation had become tense in a way that even longtime rap insiders said they hadn't seen in a while. What started as rumors about questioning Nero Block had now grown into a full internet storm involving screenshots, leaked audio, emotional posts from families, and non-stop speculation about whether federal investigators were quietly building a bigger case behind the scenes. Fans were shocked by how fast the story had spread, and emotions were running high across every rap blog and comment section online. But what made the situation even more dramatic was the feeling that something important was about to surface at any moment. That afternoon, and the tension reached another level when someone believed to be closely connected to the O'Block circle unexpectedly went live on Instagram. The live stream started with loud voices in the background, and several people sitting in what looked like a living room. At first, the person holding the phone seemed hesitant to even talk about the rumors. But viewers flooded the comments with the same question over and over. Did they arrest anybody? The man looked directly at the camera for a moment before responding carefully. "Ain't nobody saying what y'all think they saying," he said. That sentence instantly triggered thousands of comments asking him to explain what he meant, but instead of clarifying, he leaned back and shook his head. The internet already wrote their own story. Someone sitting behind him suddenly jumped into the conversation, clearly frustrated. "People out here got families watching all this." The voice said loudly, "Y'all think this a game?" The mood in the room shifted immediately. You could feel the tension through the screen. Fans in the live stream chat started debating again, some defending the O'Block community, while others insisted the rumors about investigators had to mean something serious was happening behind closed doors. The stream lasted only a few minutes before someone in the room told the person holding the phone to end it, but those few minutes were enough to reignite the entire debate. Only an hour later, another twist appeared that made the story even more confusing. A blogger posted posted what he claimed was a leaked email from someone connected to a legal office in Chicago. The email allegedly mentioned ongoing inquiries regarding individuals associated with Chicago drill artists. The blogger admitted he couldn't verify the email's authenticity, but said it came from someone who had previously provided reliable tips. As soon as the screenshot went public, the internet exploded again. Some fans believed it confirmed federal interest in the situation. Others argued that emails like that could easily be fabricated. While the online speculation continued, something else was happening behind the scenes that made insiders uneasy. According to a manager who spoke privately with a podcast host, several artists connected to the Chicago drill scene had started canceling public appearances scheduled for that weekend. The cancellations were explained as personal reasons, but fans quickly began linking them to the investigation rumors. On whether those decisions were actually related or not remained unclear, but the timing made the internet even more suspicious. Later that evening, another emotional moment surfaced that reminded people how personal the situation had become. A relative of someone rumored to have been questioned posted a short video message asking the public to stop spreading unverified stories. The person spoke calmly but clearly looked exhausted by the attention. "Y'all don't understand what this does to families," they said. The message spread quickly across social media, and for a moment, the tone of the conversation shifted from speculation to sympathy. Many fans realized that behind all the rumors were real people dealing with stress they never asked to face publicly. But just when the situation seemed like it might finally slow down, another dramatic development occurred late that night. A well-known hip-hop journalist revealed during a live stream that he had spoken with a legal source earlier in the day. According to the journalist, investigators were not necessarily focused on one single event, but were instead trying to understand a broader timeline involving multiple incidents and connections between different cities. The journalist emphasized that no formal charges had been announced and warned viewers not to jump to conclusions. Still, the information added another layer of mystery to a story that already felt incredibly complicated. As the night continued, social media once again filled with cryptic posts from artists connected to both Chicago and Atlanta. One rapper posted a message saying, "Truth don't hide forever." Another shared a studio photo captioned simply, "Stay solid." Fans analyzed every word like detectives trying to solve a puzzle. Some believed these posts were signs that people knew more than they were willing to say publicly. Others argued that artists were just reacting to the chaos the internet had created around them. Then, around midnight, something small but symbolic happened that caught everyone's attention. Someone believed to be associated with the O-Block Circle briefly changed their Instagram bio to a single sentence. "Time reveal everything." The change only lasted about 20 minutes before it disappeared. But screenshots had already spread across multiple rap blogs. Once again, fans were left debating what the message could mean. Was it a warning, a response to rumors, or simply a reflection of the stress everyone involved was feeling? By the time the fourth night came to an end, the situation remained full of unanswered questions. Rumors about questioning and federal involvement were still circulating, but no official arrests had been confirmed publicly. Families were speaking out about the pressure of internet speculation, while bloggers continued chasing sources trying to figure out what was really happening behind the scenes. Fans were shocked, emotions were running high, and the entire rap community seemed divided between those who believed something major was unfolding and those who thought the internet had simply lost control of the narrative. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, the truth about why investigators were suddenly asking questions might still be waiting to come out. Whether the rumors surrounding O-Block and the alleged connection to the situation involving Lil Tim are real or exaggerated is something nobody has fully confirmed yet. But if there's one thing insiders keep repeating quietly, it's this: stories like this rarely end where they start. And right now, that's where the situation stands. Rumors about questioning around O-Block, screenshots floating around the internet, alleged leaks, cryptic live streams, emotional messages from families, and whispers about possible federal attention. But still, no clear confirmation about what is actually happening behind the scenes. Some fans believe investigators are quietly digging into a bigger timeline connected to old tensions surrounding King Von and the rumors involving Lil Tim. Others believe the internet has once again taken scattered clues and turned them into a story much bigger than reality. And the truth is, until something official comes out, nobody on the outside truly knows which version is correct. But that's exactly why stories like this keep the entire rap world watching. Because sometimes the blogs are early, sometimes the rumors are wrong, and sometimes the truth doesn't come out until weeks or even months later. And when it finally does, it can completely change the way everyone understood the situation. question. Now I want to hear your opinion. Do you think the rumors about O-Block members being questioned or arrested are actually connected to the situation involving Lul Tim? Or do you think the internet just created another viral conspiracy out of incomplete information? Drop your thoughts in the comments because the debate on this one is getting intense. If you want more deep rap news stories like this, the kind where we break down the rumors, the receipts, the leaks, and what insiders are quietly saying behind the scenes, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update when it drops, because the next development in this story might shock everyone.